Before I can talk about skepticism, I have to talk about the environment I was living in when the whole COVID fiasco hit. I was living in Germany, where institutions don't just govern, they parent. The relationship between the state and the citizen is deeply parental. Obedience means safety, compliance means intelligence, and trusting in the institutions is treated as moral maturity. So from childhood on, the message is very clear there. The system knows more than you. So when COVID hit, the response followed the exact template. The resistance wasn't debated, it was diagnosed. Mass protests weren't political disagreement, they were pathology. Protesters were labeled as irrational, selfish, extremist, or just plain crazy. Not wrong, but defective. The message was implicit but constant. If you disagreed with this, there was something wrong with you. And that's important because it entrained people to associate intuition with antisocial behavior and obedience with virtue. Then I went to the US as soon as the airlines opened to see my dad. European media had painted America as insane, but when I got here, it wasn't insane. It was skeptical. What I saw wasn't chaos. What I saw was people arguing openly, questioning mandates, and distrusting institutions out loud. And guess what? Society didn't collapse. Hospitals didn't turn to apocalyptic wastelands, and people weren't dropping dead in the street. The narrative didn't match reality. And that's when something clicked. What was being labeled as antisocial wasn't. It was pattern recognition. People weren't rejecting community, but unquestionable authority. If institutions could lie, exaggerate, and manipulate fear, what else were they hiding? So, this is where decentralized currency enters the picture. Bitcoin wasn't just about profit, it was about exit. A growing number of people weren't trying to overthrow the system, they were trying to opt out of it. And the reaction was telling. Suddenly, crypto was framed as criminal, users as reckless, and decentralization framed as dangerous. Same pattern. Label the dissent, pathologize the intuition, protect the structure. And once people realized that skepticism didn't destroy society, but blind obedience might, consciousness became far less manageable. And that's when the system started to loosen its grip and stepped back and let fragmentation take control. That's kind of where we are right now. This concludes the jumping from era to era of this segment, and the next episode will start focusing on the bigger, deeper why of every 30 years. I'll see you there.